My name's Steve, and I'm born and bred in Kettering on the Grange estate. I'm actually at the co-op where I was actually homeless, and all the lovely people raised money for me, fed me, helped me, and then I kind of moved them with their help over, just literally over this wall into a lovely flat over there. So yes, that's where I am at the moment. It was very nervous, nerve-wracking, but I'm so glad I've done it. It really helped my confidence, and yeah, I probably want to do it again. I was mixing with like people. We're starting just like having smoke and like just recreation drugs, and then I tried methadone, and then I got into like heroin for a couple of years. I'm trying to think. Sorry, I've gone back. I overdosed 3 times in 1 week. And then I decided to go to a rehab. I went to rehab, met a girl, got married, had 2 children, stayed clean for 7 years, and then my marriage went wrong. My mum passed away, came back to Kettering. Went back to the drugs for about between 12 and 15 years. Moved into a place in Kettering. Needed to support my habit. I had drug dealers in my flat because they paid money, because I'm not a thief or anything like that, and I needed money like every day. They overtook the house. We upset all the neighbours. I had big forms of letters of complaints of people coming all hours of the day, shouting up, "Steve, let me in. Steve, bring down 2 heroin in the dark." We upset absolutely everybody, and the police shut the flat down one day, and I walked out the flat and I had nowhere to go, and I was absolutely bad. Went down to, well, come into town first and slept here for a few days, but there was too many homeless people and I clashed with them, so I went down to the co-op down London Road where I met Zoe. I didn't beg, I didn't ask for nothing. People were so good like to me. I got fed, I got free haircuts across the road, I got Christmas presents off, you know, all the residents. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got all Christmas presents off people, and they raised £2,500 for me, which I put down as a deposit in Princess Street. The first thing I'd done was got a drug dealer there, because I'd still got a habit, I'd got no benefits or anything, didn't know what to do. So I've got a drug dealer there. My health was really bad. I was 7.5 stone. I couldn't stand up. I was all buckled over. I was there for a week or a week and a half, and then my leg swelled up, and I went to the hospital, and I'd got blood clot in my leg, lungs, and an infection in my spine, and I fractured my spine in 3 places. And I stayed in the hospital for 3 months. In that meanwhile, the drug dealer had gone, so my flat was empty. One day, a nurse came round and offered me some methadone, else I wouldn't have stayed there. And then another time she come and said, how am I getting on with the dosage? And I said, could you reduce it? I don't know why I said it, but I said it. And I stuck with it. And I've been clean for nearly 4 years now. And then my landlord sold up. Yeah, my landlord sold up, and then I moved from there to the other side of the wall of the co-op. That's what I've called it, on the other side. So, yeah, that's kind of the story, really. I'd like to ask anyone if anyone's got any ideas of what else I could do with my story. You know, like an example, like I'm nervous now, but I was thinking about, you know, years ago when the police used to go to schools and talk to the kids and stuff. You know, if anyone's got any kind of ideas like that, what I could do, because if I could stop someone going on the drugs, it'd be lovely. Or even stopping the drug dealers, because they just leave young boys in the house, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, you know, to sell drugs, and they big it up and they tell them they're going to make thousands of pounds, you know, and they don't. I'll be quick. Just one more quick thing. I was there one day in my flat. There were some young drug dealers, like runners, selling the drugs in the living room, and they got a phone call off their boss saying, in a minute, the door's going to knock, someone's going to slap you, go in and rob them, and we'll give you 100 quid. So they've come in, just pushed me against the wall, quickly gave me £100, gone in, beat them young lads up, took all the drugs, all the money off them, and then now them dealers own them. They set their own young boys up. So yeah, thanks for listening, but I'm nervous. So yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I mean, I have to say that was going to be a conversation. I've got about 15 questions because we weren't sure.
Yeah,
and
well,
told the whole damn story without any of that at all, so that's amazing. I think we were going to say if there's anybody who want to ask a question or give any feedback or anything, you are very welcome to do so, either now or later. So if anyone has a question, they can. But I just think it was a really great story to share and a great one to share.
Yeah.
And you've come through it, and I think the motives for sharing were amazing because you do want to see if you can make a difference.
Yeah, it'd be good.
How did you meet? Steve?
I met Steve. I always go to the co-op. The co-op is where I go most days almost, on the London Road, and that's how we got talking.
Done a nice thing. Zoe done a nice thing as well. She took some pictures of a tent I was living in. And then you was working at school, wasn't you?
Yeah.
And you done Zoe done a thing where all the children. Did you go down to the council?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Well, I like to finish it. So the students at Isaac was working there, and we knew about your story. Well, I knew about your story, and I took a photo of the tent that he was living in, which is just in a bit of scrubland outside Tresham. And it was awful, and I walked around there to see it, and it was damp, things were damp, and you'd already told me there were rats coming into the tent and everything. I took another photo of the new goat sheds that had been built at Wicksteed that were made from wood, and a proper door, and a roof. And I took the two photos, and I put them sort of, to a class, and I said, look at this. Juxtaposition of images, there's two dwellings, and this is a human dwelling, and this is an animal dwelling. And it was a really quite an interesting time. We got the housing department to come down and chat and explain what was going on. But I think it wasn't about that, it was about the way you were with people that made you want to help because you were so warm and you never asked for anything. You just smiled and were friendly. So people got talking to you and understood a bit more about you, and then the there was a great surge of help and and that was a great thing, and I wish it could happen for everyone. So thank you, Steve.
No,
Any
you're a star.
questions? No, I think you spoke. You shocked everyone. It's amazing. So thank you for being first up.
Thank you not to judge people, to help people. You know, exactly what I got. You know. But, yeah, sorry. Because a lot of the kids were, I don't know, down to earth with me and didn't scare them off. Where some adults would be like, you'd say, "Good morning," and they'd be like, "Got no change."
Yeah.
He said good morning. He didn't say, "Can I have some money?" They did. Obviously, they did as well. You know, Christmas presents. You know, food, having to wash in the buckets, hairdressers used to cut my hair. You know, so I'd love someone to obviously not make mistakes. You know, that I made in life, drugs, being homeless, and I'd also like. If anybody can give me some advice how to take, you know, my my experiences further, you know, to go to schools. Obviously I'm not a professional, but to you know, to talk to probably parents and things like that if I could.